Happiness, a word that resonates deeply with every human being, regardless of age, background, or belief. Despite its universal appeal, happiness can often feel elusive, like chasing the last rays of sunlight before dusk. Yet, what if there was a way to understand happiness not as a fleeting emotion, but as a skill that could be honed, practiced, and embedded into the very fabric of our daily existence, drawing wisdom from The Art of Happiness, a handbook for living, a landmark work crafted through the profound insight of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and the practical perspective of psychiatrist Howard Cutler, we embark on a transformative journey to unravel what it truly means to live a happy life. This exploration is not about relentless positivity or the relentless pursuit of pleasure. Instead, it's about embracing the art of happiness through self-awareness, compassion, and the reimagining of suffering, not as an obstacle, but as a teacher. Imagine for a moment that happiness is not woven by fate, nor handed out by circumstance. Instead, consider the possibility that happiness arises primarily from within, shaped by our thoughts, actions, and our capacity to cultivate a calm, compassionate mind. The Dalai Lama, renowned as one of the world's most spiritually influential figures, suggests that the very purpose of our existence is to seek happiness. Yet, he emphasizes that true happiness is not found in external achievements, material wealth, or fleeting pleasures, but in developing inner peace, a state of mind that can weather the inevitable storms of life. According to the Dalai Lama, the journey towards happiness begins with a conscious decision. It requires the recognition that while we may have little control over external circumstances, we possess immense power over how we choose to respond. Consider the analogy of becoming a skilled driver. We cannot predict every roadblock or sudden change in weather, but we can prepare ourselves to react with skill, patience, and understanding. Cultivating happiness follows a similar logic. It is an art that evolves through mindful practice. The foundation of this art lies in mental discipline. Much like exercising a muscle, cultivating a positive outlook is a practice that becomes easier and more natural with time. The Dalai Lama encourages a shift in focus, from what we lack to what we possess, from competition to compassion. In daily life, this could mean redirecting attention from what went wrong in a day to moments that sparked even the smallest joy. A gentle sunrise, laughter shared with a friend, or the aroma of a familiar meal. While these moments might seem insignificant alone, as they accumulate, they form the bedrock of enduring happiness. But how do we shift our mental habits? It begins with awareness. The Dalai Lama advocates for a practice of mindfulness and self-reflection, urging us to observe our thoughts and emotions as they arise, much like a scientist observing a fascinating specimen. We notice when our minds wander into judgment or comparison, when discontentment arises, or when resentment simmers beneath the surface. In these moments, we are invited to pause, breathe deeply, and gently guide our minds back to gratitude, patience, and understanding. Central to the Dalai Lama's philosophy is compassion, not only for others, but for ourselves. True happiness, he teaches, is inseparable from the well-being of others. When we practice compassion, we step beyond the confines of our own desires and struggles, recognizing the shared humanity in those around us. Compassion transforms not only those we touch, but circles back to nurture our own hearts. Imagine a world where kindness is instinctive, where our responses to adversity are guided by empathy rather than anger, and where each interaction, no matter how small, is infused with the intention to uplift rather than outdo. Such a mindset can turn even ordinary encounters into extraordinary opportunities for happiness. Dr. Cutler, through his dialogues with the Dalai Lama, brings a Western psychological perspective, highlighting how acts of service and kindness boost emotional well-being, lower stress, and create genuine fulfillment. You might ask, what about suffering? In a world rife with uncertainty, pain, and injustice, Is happiness merely wishful thinking? The art of happiness does not gloss over suffering. Instead, it invites us to engage with it more deeply. The Dalai Lama views suffering as an inescapable part of the human experience, but also as a catalyst for growth and self-compassion. Rather than shrinking from pain or masking it with distractions, he suggests that by facing our suffering directly, with curiosity and an open heart, we can uncover reservoirs of resilience and meaning. Take, for example, the frustration that comes from unmet expectations or disappointment. The Dalai Lama encourages examining our emotional patterns. Is our suffering compounded by resistance, blame, or fear? By recognizing these patterns, we can replace anger with patience, isolation with connectedness, and self-criticism with understanding. Gradually, suffering transforms, not into happiness, but into wisdom and strength that support a more balanced and joyful life. The pathway toward happiness, as described in these teachings, is not a solitary one. It is marked by connection, deep, genuine relationships that are built upon trust, honesty, and love. Modern research echoes this wisdom. The happiest individuals are not the wealthiest, nor the most successful, but those who are closely connected to family, friends, and broader communities. The Dalai Lama urges us to practice openness and vulnerability, to lower the defenses that keep us apart, and to risk genuine connection. In sharing our joys and fears, our laughter and tears, we foster trust. In forgiving one another and ourselves, we release the burdens that weigh heavily on our hearts. Through this ongoing courageous practice, we find that happiness is not just an inner state, but a communal, co-creative experience. Yet happiness thrives not only in our relationships with others, but in the cultivation of meaning and purpose. Ask yourself, what gives your life depth? What drives you to get up in the morning, to reach beyond comfort, and to lend your gifts to the world? The Dalai Lama teaches that aligning daily actions with values, whether through career, creativity, service, or spiritual practice, animates our lives with purpose and joy. Living with purpose doesn't require grand gestures or monumental achievements. Sometimes it's found in small, quiet acts: the listening ear, the gentle encouragement, the careful tending of a garden, or the nurturing of a child. These acts, though seemingly modest, anchor us in the present and remind us that happiness is often found in the simplicity of ordinary life. Yet, cultivating happiness also means making peace with impermanence. The Dalai Lama reminds us that change is the only constant. Clinging to pleasure, youth, or possessions only breeds anxiety, while recognizing the ever-changing nature of life allows us to savor the present without fear of loss. When we let go of grudges, regrets, perfectionism, and unrealistic expectations, we create space for serenity and acceptance. The art of happiness invites us to challenge the myths we hold about what brings joy. We often imagine happiness as residing somewhere in the future, a destination to be reached once we've solved every problem, achieved every goal, or acquired every possession. The truth, as illuminated in these pages, is that happiness is available to each of us, here, now, in the small acts of courage, kindness, and reflection that make up a life well lived. How, then, might we begin, right now, to nurture our own art of happiness? It takes willingness, a readiness to acknowledge where we struggle, and to extend the same kindness to ourselves that we so readily offer others. It takes commitment to daily practices that support mental well-being, mindfulness, gratitude, acts of service, and meaningful connection. And it takes patience, recognizing that, like all arts, happiness is cultivated not through sudden leaps, but through steady, intentional steps. Consider these practical tools drawn from the Dalai Lama's teachings. Begin each day with a moment of reflection. Before reaching for your phone or rushing into the tasks ahead, sit quietly and set an intention. What qualities do you wish to embody today? Perhaps it is patience with your children, courage in the face of a challenge, or compassion toward yourself during moments of doubt. Throughout the day, practice gratitude. Notice the overlooked blessings, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the aroma of coffee, the comfort of familiarity, the smile of a stranger. In cultivating appreciation for what is, we loosen the grip of longing for what is not. In times of conflict or difficulty, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what is truly important in this moment? Can I respond with understanding and empathy rather than reactivity? The Dalai Lama models the radical power of responding to adversity with calm, curiosity, and kindness. Foster genuine relationships. Invest time and energy in connecting, not through productivity or status, but through shared humanity. Reach out with a word of encouragement. Offer forgiveness where it is needed, and allow yourself to receive support as well. Engage in acts of service, however small. The Dalai Lama emphasizes the joy that comes from benefiting others. Even a simple gesture can uplift both giver and receiver. Remember, happiness grows in the garden of generosity. Embrace the inevitability of a suffering. When pain arises, acknowledge it without judgment. Seek the lesson hidden within, and allow your experiences to deepen your empathy for others who struggle. Finally, make time for stillness and self-reflection. Meditation, journaling, or even a quiet walk can provide the space needed to replenish and recenter yourself. As we integrate these practices into our daily lives, we uncover a profound truth reflected in the art of happiness. Happiness is not a rare or unreachable treasure, reserved for the lucky or the chosen few. Instead, it is an art to be cultivated, a path to be walked with intention, humility, and kindness. The Dalai Lama's gentle wisdom and Dr. Cutler's compassionate psychology together remind us that happiness flourishes not from external riches or the absence of struggle, but from the steadfast cultivation of an open heart and a resilient mind. It emerges from the willingness to see the goodness in ourselves and others, to practice forgiveness, and to embrace the present moment, whatever it may hold. As we journey through life's twists and turns, perhaps the greatest gift we can offer ourselves and the world is a commitment to this art. By choosing compassion over criticism, gratitude over greed, and presence over distraction, we transform not only our own hearts, but the wider world we inhabit. Each smile, each kind word, each moment of understanding weaves a tapestry of happiness that endures even in life's stormiest seasons. In the end, the art of happiness is not a final destination, but the way we walk our path. With every step, we practice. With every stumble, we learn. And, guided by the quiet assurance of the Dalai Lama's teachings, we rediscover, again and again, that the seeds of happiness lie not in what we encounter, but in how we choose to meet each moment. So, as you move forward today, ask yourself, how can I bring more compassion, gratitude, and presence into my life, right now? How might I practice the subtle but profound art of happiness for my own sake and for the world's? The canvas is yours, the brush is in your hand, and the unfolding masterpiece is waiting to be revealed. One intention, one breath, one act of kindness at a time. If you've enjoyed exploring the timeless wisdom found in The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama, now is the perfect opportunity to join the conversation. Your insights, experiences, and personal reflections can bring even more depth to these teachings. What part of the book resonated with you most? Was there a specific lesson about compassion, contentment, or finding inner peace that sparked a new perspective? Sharing your thoughts not only enriches your own journey, but also helps others see the text in a new light. Maybe you have questions about how to apply the Dalai Lama's advice in everyday life. Do you find certain practices challenging? Are there areas where you wish for more clarity, or do you have tips for integrating happiness habits into a busy schedule? No question is too small, and your curiosity might lead to a discussion that benefits everyone in this community. Don't hesitate to leave a comment below with your opinions, reactions, or inquiries. Have you tried any of the exercises suggested by the Dalai Lama? If so, what was your experience like? Engage with others who are on a similar journey. By starting a dialogue, we can learn so much more from one another, fostering a positive and supportive space for growth. Remember, true happiness grows when it is shared. Invite your friends or family to join the discussion or share this video if you think someone else could benefit. Let's come together to uncover new layers of meaning, support each other, and inspire one another in the pursuit of lasting happiness. Your voice matters, and we look forward to hearing your unique perspective.